yeah, some guy threatened to stab me on my first ever night out. I look in the back of it, it's an Ann Summers nurse outfit. Obviously, me being already drunk, very drunk at this point, I was spiked. I wanted to check my bum to see if it was bleeding. I was in a car, in the passenger seat, on a driveway, down a cul-de-sac, on a road that I have never been down in my life, just sat in the passenger seat, and I've woken up and it's morning. Alright, so, the year is 2014. I'm 18 at the time. I've just started going out, and you just start to enjoy it now. I wasn't one of those kids that had a fake ID and was going out. I said to myself that, the first time I go out will be the first time I ever go out.
Huh?
And I even remember the first time I went out, because the first time I ever went out, I went to a club called Kukui. Doesn't exist anymore. And yeah, some guy threatened to stab me on my first ever night out. And I'm from a nice place as well, so this is like completely out of the ordinary. He was just like, "Why are you staring at me?" And I was like, "I'm not staring at you." Can you imagine me and my little puny 18-year-old self like, "I'm not staring at you." And he was like, "Bro, come outside with me now." And I was just like, "What?" And he was just like, "Come outside right now." I was not coming outside. He's like, "Come outside or I'll shank you right here, right now." And I was just like, okay. So I went outside and then just grabbed the bouncer. I'd been at school. It was a Friday, non-uniform day. You pay £1 and you go get dressed up. Me and my friends decided on this day that we were going to go in fancy dress. Now, this is where the story gets a little bit weird before it gets funny and then also weird again. I didn't have a costume to wear. So I said to my mum, and I was just like, "Mum, have you got a costume to wear?" And she was like, "Oh, actually, I do have a costume." And I was like, "Oh, what?" She's like, "Oh, it's a nurse's outfit." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Yeah, I could wear that." And I was just like, "Why have you got a nurse's outfit?" I look in the back of it, it's an Ann Summers nurse outfit. Oh my god, bruh. It was her sexy time outfit. But I'm there, like, it's the night before. I'm like, I've got no other option. But I didn't obviously tell my friends that it was my mum's, because otherwise they'd been roasted. So after the sort of fancy dress, we all decide we're going to go out. So we go home, get changed, and I start pre-drinking at home. My choice of drink back there was rum. Spiced rum. Who doesn't like spiced rum? Spiced rum. Oh, spiced rum hits the spot. Now, at this point, I'm a little drunk. I am a little drunk. Probably quite a lot drunk. Anyway, so me and my friend get in a taxi and I go meet the rest of my friends out. So we meet at this place called Kukui. We get there and I'm walking in this place and in almost every single booth that I see, I can just see like all my friends from different schools, like loads of people that I know, girls that I've dated before. So what do you do when you see your friends when you're out? You go have a drink with them. So I was going around to each and every single one of these booths. And I'm sat down and like I'm drinking like in their booths. But the booths that were there are like barrels. So it's what they've done is they've cut a barrel in half, put like an ice tray in it, filled it up with like a really pretty like arrangement. And then they've, put like drink in this massive like ice container. So everyone's drinking out of these like basically half barrels. And that's what we're doing. So I'm going around to all these different booths, drinking out the barrels. And I go to this one booth and I see this girl that I used to date. And I was just like, "Oh, how you doing, Ellie?" And she was just like, "Do I know you?" And I was just like, "What do you mean, do you know me? It's Liam." And she was just like, "Well, I don't know you." And I was just like, "Yeah, you do. We used to date." Nah. Don't know what you're on about. And I was just like, wow. The audacity of this girl to just like blank me. Anyway, then she got the bouncer to kick me out of like their booth. So we keep moving around the booths. We keep worming our way around the booths because guess what? If you've got friends in a club that have booths, it's free alcohol. However, this would turn out to be my downfall of the night. Because if you go to a booth, normally if you have bottles of vodka or mixer, okay, they're bottled. You can pour them whenever you need. However, when you've got half cut open barrels, you've got an open like mix of drinks in there. Little did I know, somebody had spiked one of the like barrels in one of these booths, and just before things started to turn bad, I was on the dance floor. I don't even know why I did this, but I was on the dance floor, and again, it's like a Hawaiian sort of like bamboo-y sort of club. That's the vibe it's giving off. They had like ceiling beams, like wooden ceiling beams. And I climbed up one and I started doing pull-ups on it. And I get absolutely yeeted down. I mean, yeeted, like my trousers slowly come down. I get pulled down, thrown to the floor. And like these two bouncers, "What the fuck do you think you're doing, you little prick?" They grab me, throw me out. Like, and when I say throw me out, you know when someone in like a soap or something get out of my pub, and they get thrown out. That was me getting thrown out. You know what they say? I don't know if it's a myth that when you get outside, like, the alcohol hits you. So I get outside, and I am just not with it. 5-10 minutes outside, they're not letting me back in. And then I go to try call my friends. And I'm like, shit, my phone's dead. Anyway, one of my friends comes out and he's like, yo, what are you doing? Where have you been? We've been looking for you for ages. And I was like, yeah, bro, I've been outside waiting for him. Okay, and he was like, where's Lewis? Where's your friend Lewis? I don't know where Lewis is. And he was like, can you call him? So me in my drunk, now drugged, spiked stage, I get out my debit card out of my wallet. This is, like, again, I don't remember. This is what my friend told me, who was relative. So apparently I got my debit card out of my wallet and started, like, typing his number. I put it to my ear. And I was like, he's not answering. He was like, well, of course he's not answering. You're using your card to ring him, you dick. And he was like, mate, you need to go home. And he was like, go get a taxi. And I was like, so he tried to put me in a taxi and I ran away stupidly. Your friend tries to help you and I run away. And I run into one of my friends from school who's a chef. And he was like, hey, he was like the stoner at school. And he was like, hey, Liam, man, what are you doing? Long time no see, brother. Long time no see. Yo, you're really not in a good state, man. He's not American either. Just a very bad accent. He was like, you're in a really bad state. So he tries to throw me in a taxi. I was like, no, I'm not going. I'm not going. And he was just like, no, we're going. And he got in the taxi with me. Now, on the way back, I got very vague memories. On the way back, I jump out of the taxi because I need to be sick. And if you're sick in a taxi, that costs a lot of money. So I get out, I'm sick, and it goes obviously all over my shoes. It's not glamorous. And he was like, oh, yo, man, get back in. We're going to take you back. Where do you live? And I just sprint. Again, Liam, when he's drunk, why am I sprinting places? I just sprint away. Just, Lightning McQueen, Usain Bolt, I just gone, sprinting away. That's the last thing I remember of that night. Now, this is where it gets weird. Because this is the last thing I remember. When I woke up in the morning, I was in a car, in the passenger seat, on a driveway, down a cul-de-sac, on a road that I have never been down in my life, just sat in the passenger seat, and I've woken up and it's morning. I'm sat there in this car seat, and I'm like, where am I? So I lift, you know in cars you have the little pull down thing, you can see the mirror. I pull the thing down, look at myself in like the mirror, and I'm like, oh my god, like, where am I? One of the other first things I did was obviously check if I still have my phone, my wallet. I know, guys, I know this sounds stupid and disgusting, or like, why would you do that? I wanted to check my bum to see if it was bleeding. What? What the fuck? I was spiked, so I don't know where I am. I've blacked out, but I checked it and like, it's fine, okay? It's fine, all right, absolutely fine. But then I get up and I have to walk for about 20-25 minutes to even know where I am. I'm down a cul-de-sac, and like, obviously, as soon as I get out of the car, I just run. And still, to this day, I do not know how I got to the car, how or why, who put me in that car. Did I just walk up to the car and just got in it and just went to sleep? Did somebody like pick me up because they seen that I was very drunk on like this big road and they're like, yo, you can stay in the car? Like, I do not know what happened. And I still to this day don't know how I got there. And I don't think we ever will know. The moral of this story, only drink drinks from people that you can trust. If you've left your drink on the side and go drink from it, that's very risky. And thirdly, do not drink from communal drinks in a club. You don't want to end up in a car like I did. You just don't want it. You don't want it. If you do get spied, check your bum, guys.
Yikes.
Just